Hello, welcome back. My name's JD, and you are watching Weekly Update Wednesday, episode 8. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all our friends and viewers from East Malaysia over in Sabah and Sarawak a very happy Pesta Keamatan and Hari Gawai. Hope you guys had an awesome celebration over the weekend, okay? Firstly, as usual, a big thank you and shout out to all the patrons, alright? Remember, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by signing up via Patreon. Head down to www.patreon.com/studio2105. Sign up, become a patron, and you receive a lot of exclusive benefits, things such as a one-on-one mentoring and tutorial sessions with me, some other perks and benefits as well. So get on down to the website below to check it out. Okay, if you're new to this channel, very warm welcome. Please do take a minute to head on down there and click the subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Remember to also click on the notification bell so that you'll get notified and updated every time I upload a new video. I upload about 3 videos a week, so that includes our weekly live stream, MixStream sessions, the Weekly Update Wednesday, this video which you are watching, and usually I do one on Monday as well. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, that's our usual upload schedule, okay? Alright, so what are the new updates that's been happening? So we were pretty busy running up to just before Hari Raya. You know, recording and mixing a whole bunch of songs, and all these songs are all out now, so you can go and check it out. I'll leave the links to all the songs down in the description. Okay, the first ones, keeping in line with the theme of Keamatan, from our friends at Kupi FM, a radio station over in Sabah. So they ran a little campaign, and the theme song of that campaign is titled Kita Juga Baini. You can check out the video. It's a very fun video. Some of the announcers from Kupi FM include very good friends of mine. Lester used to play in a band as well. He's a fantastic singer and a musician himself. And also, I would say the star of the song is Velvet Aduk, who is, of course, the wife of Rich from Estranged. And speaking of Estranged, right, they've also put out a new song, very simply titled Raya 2020. So they put out this Raya song, and it's featuring, right, their longtime collaborators and again longtime friends, Marsha and of course Velvet Aduk as well. So you can check out the Raya video down the link below. Alright, moving on from Sabah, not too far away in fact, over to the Philippines. My very good friends and dear brothers over there, Slapshock, okay? So I actually mixed a track, and I'm actually in the process of actually mixing new songs from their upcoming album. I think we've got about we're about 3 songs in now, but one of the first ones, the very first single which they have just released, a song titled Sanapak Gising. So this is a song that's a tribute to the frontliners who are fighting COVID-19. Alright, so do check it out. It's one of their very most heartfelt songs, okay? The lyrics, even though I don't understand or I don't really speak Tagalog, but you know, I've been checking out the translations, and the lyrics are really meaningful. So do check out the song. The video is out on Slapshock's YouTube channel. Again, links down in the description below. Almost forgot, right? One more thing. Another good friend of ours as well, all the way back here now to KL. An honest mistake. So their single, their brand new upcoming single is titled I Don't Give a Damn, right? It's gonna be releasing out on Spotify and all the major digital streaming platforms this Friday, right? June 5th, 2020. So you can head on down to the link. You can pre-save it, right? Maybe by the time you watch it, it's already out on the streaming platform. So do check it out, right? So happens this track, I Don't Give a Damn, was also featured on our MixStream episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to learn more about how the process of how we recorded, how I mixed the song, you can go back and watch this episode of MixStream again. The link down below. But don't forget, go and check out the single, okay? It's gonna be available soon. Alright, I almost forgot. Again, just another quick mention. For those who sign up for the Direct Access and VIP Access Patron, remember there was a special offer which I ran. The Project ERCD is already in the mail, okay? I've already contacted you guys with all the tracking numbers. So do check it out. Please check your emails, okay? It should be reaching your mailbox in maybe a couple of days, all right? Since I delivered via post laju. So check it out, all right? If you haven't received it, if like by next week you haven't received it, please do get in touch with me, okay? All right, so let's get down to the question of the week. How do I reduce or eliminate headphone bleed when recording? Alright, that is a great question. And this question, along with a couple of other questions, has been popping up a lot recently these past couple of months. Like I mentioned, right? How to reduce headphone bleed, what audio interface I should get, what microphone I should get. These are probably the top 3 questions that's been going around the internet recently. And there's a good reason why, obviously because of all the lockdowns. Here in Malaysia, we have our MCO. In Singapore, they have the circuit breaker. In all the various countries, they have their own forms of imposed lockdowns as well. So a lot of people have been getting into home recording, buying audio interfaces, buying microphones, buying headphones. In fact, it's so hard to get and purchase all these new audio interfaces now because all the retailers and dealers are pretty much all of them are all sold out. They're all out of stock, okay? But I think it's great, okay? And it's great that all the more folks out there are getting into home recording. And of course, in the process, you are, kind of encountering some issues, some problems. And that's where I hope I am able to help. So maybe if you have time, maybe you can go and check out the previous videos. I did mention about, especially you still have questions about what kind of audio interface should I get, what microphone should I get, how do I record, let's say if I'm just want to record myself playing acoustic guitar and singing. Do check out, I have all these videos right in the past, in my weekly update, in the past episodes of Weekly Update Wednesdays. Do check it out. Alright, okay, back on track to the question. So, obviously, too much headphone bleed can be a problem because, it's going to permanently it's going to leak from your headphones, being picked up by your recording microphone, and it's going to affect, that track. Because once the mic picks up the bleed, it's going to be in there, the sound. You will hear maybe, the music track bleeding out from the headphones, and then it's being picked up by the vocal microphone, and then the music ends up on the vocal track. And then it's going to be problems, when you want to mix it later, because if you process it, it affects. You try to eliminate the sound, it affects the it affects the tone of the vocal, and so on and so forth. Yep, basically, right, it's a big pain in the behind. Okay. So, what are the steps, right? So, the saying goes, right? Prevention is always better than the cure, and this is one of the situations where it definitely rings true. Okay, so number one, and it sounds pretty obvious, okay? But number one, use good quality headphones. Okay, so What I mean by that, good quality headphones, right? The better quality headphones usually would have, firstly, number one, much better isolation. They're a lot more comfortable. The way that they're designed and the fit, the way that it's designed, ensures that you have a proper fit over the artist's head and ears, so that there is less, or much less bleed. Okay. You can also, oh yes, make sure also it has to be a closed back headphones. And what do I mean by closed back, right? There are closed back headphones. For example, this Audio Technica M50, this is a closed back headphones. And you do not want to be using an open back headphones, like in this case, these are Beyerdynamic headphones over here. So I'm not gonna talk too much on these headphones because I already did a video regarding that. So head on down, right? Again, link in the description. Check out the video which talks about what sort of headphones you should get for recording. So get good quality headphones because they have better isolation, and make sure you get closed back headphones. These are two very important things. Okay, number two, and again it seems really obvious, but if you're getting too much headphone bleed when you're recording, turn down the headphone volume. Okay, so sometimes you might be either yourself, or if you're recording yourself, or if you're recording another singer, sometimes you get into the habit or situation of of kind of monitoring a little bit too loud. Okay, so when you're monitoring loud, you kind of, it's a cool vibe, nice vibe. Okay, you're listening to the music loud. But when you couple with, if you're kind of using like a cheaper headphones which doesn't have very good isolation, then you get bleed, you see. So my advice would be, alright, to make it a habit, alright, turn down your headphone volume. Make sure that it's a nice, comfortable volume, so that it's still a decent enough volume, but make sure that it does not bleed, right? So just turn it down, okay, by a little bit, and that should help to reduce or eliminate the bleed that's going on. Oh, I forgot to mention, right? You can also use, if you want to really like, if you have someone who really likes to monitor really loud and bleed becomes a problem, you can also use isolation headphones. Okay, again, I already explained that in depth in my previous video, so I suggest that you go and click on the link, go and check out that video. Okay. Oh, still actually related to this point about headphone volume. Actually, to be honest, the key to getting a singer, right, or yourself, if you're a singer, comfortable with their monitor mix, with their headphone mix, is actually to try to give them a good headphone mix. I find that's actually a lot more important, right, than just sheer volume or being able to hear themselves. It's more important to have a good sounding headphone mix, a good sounding balance, right, of the music, of their vocal. I always try, my principle, especially now when you're working in digital realm, right, inside the DAW, mix as you go along. I always try to make, even though my recordings, right, in the process of recording a song, I always try and always kind of, in the process, I always kind of sculpt, I always apply whatever EQ, whatever processing. I always make my mix sound like a record, right? Even from the start, as much as possible, to try and make it sound as good as possible, right? Because it helps if you are, if you put yourself in the position of the singer who's recording, or if you're recording yourself, it would really help. It would inspire your performance. It will make you so much comfortable if what you're hearing sounds great, if it sounds fantastic, sounds like the finished record already. Okay, so I think this is a very important point as well, which sometimes we fail to pay attention to. Now, number three, again, pretty obvious, but very often, sometimes we tend to miss this point out. Number three, check for the bleed. Okay, what do I mean by check for the bleed? Very often, sometimes we set up the recording, we just record, we set up the monitor mix for the singer, and we just record. We done recording, and then when it's time to mix, we solo, we listen back, then we realize, alamak, the click track is bleeding or the music is bleeding through. So what I mean, right, this goes back again to prevention is better than the cure. So even right at the start, you should already check to see if you are getting headphone bleed. Sometimes you don't notice it because maybe you're monitoring too loud, or you know, if there's the music and everything going on, sometimes you don't really notice it until you solo the track. So very simple, all right? Let's say maybe, you know, when you're doing a practice take with the singer, you know, I like to let the singer always like do like some warm-up takes. After you do the practice take, listen back, you know, solo the track which you recorded, solo the vocal track, and just listen. Check for a bleed. So if you already notice and realize that there's bleed, you already know that, okay, you know, I'm getting some bleed. Let's deal with it right there. Fix it at the source, okay? It's so much easier to fix it at the source instead of trying to sort of fix it later, okay? So immediately you know, okay, oh, right, getting some bleed here. Maybe again, monitoring too loud, turn the volume down. Or, you know, okay, maybe these headphones are not fitting well with the singer. So switch to another better pair of headphones, or switch to isolation headphones if you want to get really good isolation. Click tracks, especially the metronomes, right, are usually the most notorious culprit, right? Because especially sometimes if you go work on a quieter song, you know, maybe a ballad or an acoustic track, and you have a click track, then sometimes that click tick 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 ends up bleeding through into your vocal. Right, so click tracks are usually the main culprit here. So there are a couple of ways you can sort of get around it. Obviously, I would say try not to use a click track at all, okay? But if you have to, if the singer does rely on a click track to work on a tempo, maybe you know, it's a very sparse, empty ballad. You know, there's no drums or any rhythmic element going on. So sometimes a click track, you know, does help. So what you can do is you can switch out the sound, right? Use maybe a lower pitch, use maybe a softer sound. So instead of, let's say, maybe the typical beep or the cowbell kind of a tone, maybe use a lower pitch sound, something a little softer, maybe a wood block, or maybe, you know, just switch it out to a different sound. Most DAWs now has the ability to sort of customize your click sound, right? At least I know Cubase does. So you can switch, you know, besides the default beep sound that Cubase has, I can also use a much softer sound as well. Okay, there are options to ensure there is a bleed too much. So remember, check for the bleed. Okay, now, so that's all the preventative measures. Now, if you are already recorded, the singer has gone home, right? And then you come back another day, it's time to mix, then you realize that, oh no, there's all the headphone bleed inside the recording. So, right, so what you can do is you can obviously, right, you can try to EQ it out. So sometimes if it's a click track, usually it's a very particular narrow frequency. That is the fundamental, that's where the click is at. So you could probably use a very narrow EQ to sort of notch out that sound, right? I would probably only automate that EQ. So only EQ that particular frequency where the click track, or you know, the bleed from the click bleed is the loudest or the most obvious, because you don't want to apply the EQ throughout the entire vocal track, because you know, you could be notching out a very important frequency, you know, let's say 2 kilohertz, right? So that's very important frequency for the, you know, presence of the vocal. Okay, so you can use an EQ and use some automation as well. Now, very powerful tool, and this is number 5, right? A very powerful tool, right, that's available now recently, okay, is to use a spectral editor. Spectral editors are very powerful, okay, because it's not like your traditional form of editing where you edit the waveform. So this is actually a way where a form of editing where it analyzes the entire spectrum of the audio signal. So with the spectral editor, it's really cool. You can go in, it shows you like a waterfall spectrum display, and you can actually go in and remove and edit specific frequencies from the sound. Very powerful. So especially when dealing with things such as bleed, such as click bleed, and all that. There are many other uses as well. Okay, spectral editing. It's a very powerful tool which you can sort of explore. So a couple of spectral editors that I know out there. The one that I know would be Spectral Layers by Magix. This is also now available for Cubase. Previously, I think it was only available on Magix platforms. And if I'm not mistaken, both Reaper and Audacity also have spectral editing features built into it already, so you can check it out. Right, I'm not really an expert. I've personally never had the need or tried using spectral editing. Probably something I want to get into. Maybe I'll check out Spectral Layers right real soon and show you, do a video on how to get rid of all this bleed and how to use spectral editing. Okay, but go and check it out. If you guys have any suggestions of how to reduce or eliminate headphone bleed, what kind of other software out there that has spectral editing features, I would love to hear from you. Please leave your questions down in the comments. Okay, all right, so hopefully that helps. So just to recap, very quick one: use good quality headphones, turn down the headphone volume, always check your recording, right? Check for bleed. You can use EQ, you can use automation. Oh, you can also sometimes use a de-esser. A de-esser can sometimes also help with it, but again, your mileage may vary. Okay, and number 5, use a spectral editor. All right, so that's it pretty much for this week's episode of Weekly Upload Wednesday. Slip of the tongue. All right. Really thank you. Appreciate you guys out there for watching and for supporting this channel. If you found this video informative and helpful, please do leave a like. Share it with your friends out there, and take a moment, head down, click subscribe, and click on the notification bell. It will really help to support the channel. And if you can, even if you want to help to support my channel directly, do consider signing up to become a patron. Patrons, not only do they support the channel right through their donation and their pledges, but they also get in return, some exclusive benefits. You get to join the MixStream Academy community. You get one-on-one tutorial lessons and mentoring lessons with me, right? So I've got a couple of patrons where we do like weekly sessions, right? One-on-one weekly sessions, and I tutor and I mentor them on specific topics or questions that they may have. And you even get the stuff like free goodies, exclusive access to some of the behind the scenes content, and you also get nice discounts, discount coupons which you can use towards any of the studio services in here. Studio time, mixing, the recording packages, right? So if you sign up to become a patron, you also get to enjoy some really special benefits and discounts. Oh wait, before I say goodbye, I've almost forgot to mention the direct access band search is on. Okay, so if you are an independent, if you are an unsigned band out there, you stand a chance to win an opportunity to have your song produced, recorded, and mixed by yours truly, right? As part of the direct access program, which is coming up later on this year. So again, I had a video last week explaining what it's all about. You can also find out all the information on the Studio 2105 Facebook page. Head on, check out last week's video, which will explain and describe the entire process of what the direct access band search is about. So once again, thank you very much, and I just can't express how thankful I am and how supportive some of you have been towards my YouTube channel and the MixStream and the direct access program as a whole. I hope that you guys are continuing to stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, wash your hands, take care of your personal hygiene, remember to practice your social distancing, all right? And together we can get through all of this. So take care. See you next time. Bye.